Hey, good day, good day, good day. It's Rocco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. Thank you guys for joining us. This is when the lights go out. Are you ready? Hey, listen, today I want to talk about something that has got me thinking, and I hope that you come on today and join us because we're going to be thinking about if the internet controls our mind, who controls your money? If attention is currency, are you broke? That's our conversation today on When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? I'm Rocco Johnson, your host. I'm hopeful that you will join us on the inside because we got a lot to talk about. Stick around to the end, and we'll see you there at the top. Hey, good day, good day, good day. It's Rocco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. How's everyone doing today? Listen, today we're going to be talking about just a conversation that had me thinking over the weekend. If the internet controls minds, who controls money? Who really controls money? And if that is the case, in many cases, we think about all the things that's going on in the world right now. I mean, all the things that's going on in the world right now make you really think about if attention is currency, are you broke? Got to really pay attention to that for a moment because I think that's the hot topic that we need to talk about today because the world seems to be panicking. We're not panicking. We're just getting you in position. And then just getting you in positioning, the trends of the world don't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Why? Because your system does. And we're going to be talking about how the system can play in your favor, especially if you don't know if you're broke or not, using our very special financial tool. And that's one of the things that we want to make sure we have a conversation with. We want to welcome you guys on into our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Thank you guys for joining us. And, that's just something that's really had my mind here lately. And we're just going to jump kind of right on into it. Why? Because it's just one of those things that make you say, It makes you say, Because I just have to have that conversation with you only because your family. Come on in, cousins. Come on in. I'll give you guys time to come on in. So, like I said, the world is talking about economy, culture, and AI. And most people don't know what to do next. We have no idea what to do next. And here in our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community, we don't just talk about trends. We don't just talk about the things that everybody else out there is talking about. We're strategically positioning you in a place where you can benefit from the information. We're building this wealth that we talk about with intention, serious intention. And we're going to lead with influence, right? So when we create legacy-proof systems that could help us get out of the rat race, get out of the hole that we're in, that thrives through change, right? And that is something that we're looking at. But if the internet is controlling minds, media is a very, very, very powerful tool. Very powerful tool. If the media is controlling minds and the internet is controlling minds, who controls money? I was just thinking about that over the weekend and over the week. And as you start to dig back, I think we don't really have an answer. We don't really have an answer for that because I think a lot of us created a situation where, we kind of depend on other people. And when I say depend on other people, I mean our jobs, our 401ks, um, programs, social programs, all these different types of tools that are out there today. So if that stuff is the case, I want to share with you 3 or 4 just ideas that made me say, over the weekend. And over the week, rather. And hopefully this takes you on into the weekend and helps you to come back with some ideas, because I'm really interested in what your thoughts are, right? Because we're going to break down 3 global trends that are totally dominating the market right now. And it's important that we have this conversation because it's going to reveal some things that maybe I hadn't really thought about. And the more we pay attention, the more you start to see that money, identity, and influence in this new economy that we're in has a lot of relevance, right? Because the truth is simple. Most people that we talk to, and most people are reacting to the world. We're reacting. But if you pay really close attention, the legacy builders of the world, they're not reacting. They're structuring for what's happening in the world. And in this episode today, we're going to be talking about the number one fear worldwide and really what that means to your wealth strategy, and, how this viral culture of ours is shaping identity and reputation and opportunities in real time. And why AI is, so prominent right now. Attention is, like I said earlier at the opening statement, if attention is our new currency, how do we stop being inspired by things and start being paid? Right? How do we start being paid? I think people want to know, because the old way has definitely started to change. And there is such a shift that's leaving many of us behind. It's such a dramatic shift that it's something we got to talk about. And our Lifestyle Focused Wealth mantra is simply this: the way to win in this chaotic time is to own nothing and control absolutely everything. Makes me think about it, and I said, how relevant is that today? The only thing that you can really answer is the things that we actually have controls of. The things that, just imagine driving a car yourself. You feel a certain level of comfort because you got your hands on the wheels, you're an alert driver. But if you let your hands go, how do you feel? You're still behind the wheel. You're just not touching the steering wheel. How do you feel? A little insecure? A little unsafe? How would you react when a car pulls in front of you, but your hands are not on the wheel? See, you got to stop and think about that for a second and say, wait a minute. That's almost what I'm saying when I say own nothing and control everything in today's world. Because this isn't about entertainment. This is about positioning. Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? What do I need to be thinking about? Because the change is happening, whether you like it or not. Whether your hands are on the steering wheel or completely off. Guess what? The car is in motion. It's happening right here in front of us. And we got to start talking about what to do next. What do we think about? Are we going to be in a scarcity mindset, or you're going to be in a wealth building mindset? Because if you're serious about building wealth, especially if you're going to build it with structure, not hustling, then you should subscribe to our notifications, and you should hit this notification bell below. Hit subscribe below, and the algorithm really needs you. We need you to join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. We need you to get on board this ship. We need you to get on board this movement, because your lifestyle depends on it. Your legacy depends on it. So if you understand what I'm saying, do me a favor. Drop the words positioned in the chat below. If you're already there, thank you guys for joining us. If you're all ready to stop reacting to things and start building something that's really, truly meaningful, hit positioned. Put the words positioned in the chat, because I want to make sure who I'm talking to out here, it makes sense, because we should be sharing this with more than just one person who needs to hear it. I just got a text message from a great, 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 great friend, mentor, client of mine, and he was talking about these young people who he doesn't know if they're motivated enough to start putting their money away. And I was going to go do an event in Atlanta. He said, I think we need to postpone it because I can't tell if they're ready to go. And I'm like, well, let's put this ad out there and let's hold on just a second. I think younger people are different. They're just, the buying signals are different. The attention signals are different. And if you're talking to people in this day and age, that may not be the way to get across to them, right? If I'm handing you a flyer versus sending you an email, text message, or on your website or some funny TikTok, I might not be getting across to you. Would you agree or disagree? Put that down in the chat. Put that down in the chat. Because this might even help some of you to have younger adult people in your family, because there is a difference in the way they communicate. There's a difference in the way they look at jobs, where most people will say, hey, I need to go out and create this beautiful resume and send it off to all the resume spots, where the person right now, barely old enough to drive, is looking at ways that they can do things online, making music, making t-shirts, and making 7 figures, not 6, but 7 from home without a degree. Understanding just the law of numbers. If the internet controls minds, who controls money? Again, that question just keeps coming up, because you got to think, if I can get everything that comes across my mind answered by AI, I can put my little fingers to work, and I can put that computer to work, and the computer can control your money. You're starting to see things where you got auto drafts, and you got auto stock markets, and you got all these things where they're really asking you to take your hands off the wheel. Put your trust in us. Well, who controls that? We ever thought about who controls that? I once did a couple of things, and I've done some things in my life, and I'll be honest with you, all systems kind of work, and the systems kind of work until a human decides to take it back. I think we need to ask the deeper question: who controls that? The systems that we are believing so much in, can they change direction on you? Can they change direction on you? I don't mind saying it. I once lost a healthy amount of money to a Ponzi scheme that had a system that worked. The system did work. It worked very well. And my strategy worked well with it. But the people who owned that strategy, owned that system, once they decided to pull the plug on it, it doesn't matter what my strategy was. I didn't have control. I didn't ask for what happened. No control, no answer, no money. That's what leads me, from my personal experience, to what's going on in the world right now. If the internet controls minds, who controls money? Because if you really understand how AI works, it's allowing us to really depend on the ideas that are coming across the internet. And what we see, we tend to believe. And guess what? We're also putting money back into it as well. So if we're putting our money through these systems, who's controlling it? Who's controlling it? If this is just making you think for just a second, if it just caught you off guard for just a second, this is why you need to be here today. This is why we need to have this conversation today. This is why you might want to start talking to your young people, because they're thinking about things a total different way. Would you agree? Would you agree? If you agree, give me a thumbs up down below. Hey, listen, let me go back before I get started, because this is a topic I just wanted to marinate just a little bit, marinate about what we're talking about, because this is still what millionaires and billionaires do. This is Lifestyle Focus Wealth. I'm your host, your coach. And if you're paying quite attention to what the millionaires and billionaires are doing, you got to look at everything, not just what they do with their money, but the way they act or react, or look at the push for control. When you start to look at it really deeply, it becomes interesting. So, if you want to have a full system, it's kind of like the short form video. If you watch our short form videos, it's going to inspire you to do some things, right? It's going to inspire you, but the long form transforms you. The transformation doesn't happen because we're in online, or you see the 1 minute short or the YouTube, TikTok video. That doesn't transform you. It may inspire you, but it doesn't transform you. You have to be in the class. You have to be in the course. There's so much more behind the teaser, if you will, right? And if you want to understand a little bit more about what I'm talking about, you can check me out on YouTube at Ronco Johnson. It's really simple. # Lifestyle Focus Wealth. And if you do that, you're invited into the inside of what those long-term things look like, right? Right? I want to make sure that we welcome everybody in. Welcome to Lifestyle Focus Wealth. That's enough of that for right now, but I'm going to tell you, these are things that have really had me thinking about what to do next. And when I want to talk about this a little bit more when we come back, I want you to think about what is the answer behind it when I return. Hey, join our Lifestyle Focus Wealth community. Membership starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocuswealth.com. Hey, it's Ronco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focus Wealth Coach. How are you? We've just been talking about what the internet controls and how our money is related to that, right? And we just want to invite you on in. Thank you for joining us. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? And, before we get started today, do me a favor. Go ahead and be sure you put the words takeaways below, because we want to make sure that if we hit a home run with this one, we want to know. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear what helps you feel that you're related to our topics, because that helps us give you better topics And go ahead before we jump on in. The cost of admission is really just by hitting that bell right below. Go ahead and subscribe. And do me a favor, hit the share button. Go ahead and hit the share button because somebody needs a wake-up call. Somebody does. And if you don't mind, hit that notification bell below. That notification bell will allow you to get more information every time we drop new content. And we want to make sure that you are in the room. We want to make sure that you are in the space because we're giving out the blueprint every Friday at 1 o'clock. That's going to hopefully free your mind, your legacy, and your finances, right? And we're talking about the ways that millionaires and billionaires have been doing it right in front of our faces. And at the end of the day, we want you to sit down, catch us at the end, go down and hit the in the description notes at the end of our show, sign up for our bi-weekly email. Go ahead and get on our email list because the articles that we're sharing with people, art, travel, recipes, and much more, they're pretty cool. They're just pretty cool. You just want to have that. I'm just telling you now. You just want to have that. And don't forget, if you got more information, you can make better decisions. So we want you to join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. That is important that you do that. It's important. Why? Just for a limited time, it still remains $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription fee. So I'm telling you now, when you're in the room with movers, your opportunity likes speed as well. Because you can't be thinking about, well, if I make this move, maybe I'll do it later. That is what's making the world financially anxious right now. Most people don't know who they can trust. If you agree with me on that, let me know. Let me know. Who can we trust, right? Because the pain point is really this. People feel like inflation. They feel like the prices are going up. There's some uncertainty. Oh my gosh. When you really think about it, it's a scary topic to really think about. It's like, man, uncertainty is eating our futures. We don't really know. Gas prices in some areas are $9. You know, we don't even know what's real anymore. The markets, we have things that are going on. The markets are going crazy. Politics, we can't trust. AI is going on. We don't know who's behind the information we're getting. All we know is it's getting smarter. And there's continuous talks of recession. There's continuous talks of these things. And that's causing everyone of us to have just a little bit of being stuck in some zone of what I call fear. Fear. Right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we're all caught because we don't really have any strategies for what's going on. We haven't thought about it. You're working harder and harder, but you feel like you're just falling further and further behind. If you understand where I'm coming from, if I'm talking to you, please put this in the comments because we just got to know. Y'all should just be really firing up right now because I'm slowing our tempo down today because I just need this to really marinate in our thoughts. Really marinate in our thoughts because it's time to start making moves. And we all realize it, but it's like, okay, what move should I make? RJ, tell me, what move should I make? I don't know where to go. I know I should be doing something. But, you know, this viral culture is doing a couple things that I don't know if we all understand. It's destroying identity. And people are becoming reactive to, these triggers, everything that's going on online is triggering us. We're consuming opinions instead of it being fact. Instead of building this conviction, we're starting to we're starting to see and talk about people's reputations and mindset and the confidence that have been shaped by people we don't know, strangers, complete strangers, the people who are doing unkind things in the world have us believing the people that were doing kind things were weird. We're distracted at every level right now. Our opinions are scattered. Our families are scattered. Our spirituality is exhausted. All these things happening at the same time. Can't you see the chaos that's being created? Can you? It's a storm, but you got to sit back and play this back a little bit. If you don't get caught in the tornado of things happening, and you stand back and you just see that there's a whirlwind of things happening that are not in our control, but they're controlling the way they're controlling the way we think. They're controlling the way we think. AI plus attention has created a new economy. And most people are late. Most people are overwhelmed by AI. They don't know where to start. They just don't know what to do with it. And they're watching others learn how to leverage it and learn how to use it. And they're watching other people just win. It's in plain sight. Can you imagine getting in the ring with a world-class MMA fighter or a kickboxer and you've never put on gloves? Would you think you're going to get hit in the face? Maybe your whole head gets kicked off. You don't have any defense for what those people have been practicing. Why? You have no control. And once you get hit, Mike Tyson said it well, everybody has a plan until they get hit. And if you get hit by an expert, you're going to find out that you have no control over your emotions. You don't know how you're going to react. Well, that's how the public's acting because we're stuck. We're stuck in content consumption. We're stuck and we're not monetizing these things. I was watching someone the other day. They were talking about how really cool it was to make pictures and drawings. And I simply asked them the question. I said, hey, that's really cool. Have you ever thought about using that same tool to make money? And they looked at me like I had 5 heads. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to use it for that. I'm just having a good time, they said. I'm like, but that same thing, somebody else has already monetized from home in their kitchen. That same thing. It could have been a billboard. It could have been a poster. It could have just been a saying that you're known for. These people that we're talking about, they're invisible online, and they can't convert attention into income because they don't know how. If the internet controls minds, who controls money? Y'all help me. I'm listening. I'm looking for these suggestions from our groups today. I see our group firing up online. Good day, good day, good day. Happy Friday, everybody. I see you back. Thank you for hanging out in here. Because I'm telling you now, we got a couple of takeaways out there. What we got out there in the takeaway session? So, position your finances before someone else does it for you. Well, to some degree, that may be already happening. Really. You hear about the families and the powerful people who are making these things happen behind closed doors. We have cryptocurrency on a different move. People can't understand it. It's supposed to be for criminals, right? It's supposed to be for criminals. And the most wealthy people in America are using it every single day. And we can't track where the money's going. We can't track what's being done with it. And they're using it as leverage to get us supposedly out of debt. But at the end of the day, it is causing us to have to go to one warlord and beg Uncle Warlord for money. People don't see that yet. People don't see that yet. But that's where we're headed. But we can say these things only because the distraction is in real time. It really is. It's in real time. Because when we look at it and say, hey, look, we need some solutions. Anyone who speaks out right now gets ostracized. But if we really bring it down and say, look, I want to build a structure financially that outlives this economy. Let me make sure that there's no music here. Make sure that there's no distraction here. So all you can hear is my voice. Because if we start to focus not on the storm that's out there, we start thinking about the opportunity. We shift all the panic that's happening to focusing in on positioning. If we do that, we create systems that are built on cash flow. You can start thinking more about protection of your assets, your family. You can start using tax strategies and laws because you're seeing it in real time. You're seeing big examples of it in real time. If you can pull away momentarily just from the chaos, right? Right? Because at the end of the day, Legacy Planet is all about us pulling away from the chaos, not being afraid of the moment, and playing in the game. And playing in the game, don't you think? Because think about it right here. When the time is running out, and you got time on your calendar, the time is running out, folks. All you got to do is to start putting things on your calendar. You don't have to do everything I'm telling you to do all at one time. Break it down. Do it a little bit at a time. Why? Because it is important for us to stop reacting to the economy and start structuring every cycle. It's important for us to do this, right? Because if we turn identity into currency, our identity, our personal identity into currency, here's another opportunity for you. Here's the opportunity. I'm going to give you an example. You can teach people how to lead with clarity. Clarity means we got to be honest about some things. Clarity means when some chaos is going on, when tomfoolery is happening, we got to be very clear that we understand the situation. And you can speak with conviction that you are aware that this is happening to you and that you have enough credibility that your reputation precedes you, right? And that you carry enough authority to speak on the topic at hand. Because when you replace the emotional reaction that everybody else is having with some intentional positioning, whether that be if you're getting ready for uh, a new role at your job, a speaking event, a football game, a basketball game, watching the Congress not do what they're needing to do, or watching this wild man do his thing and claiming he's the warlord. What happens when I stop paying attention to that stuff? I can't depend on it. So I have to start thinking about intentionally positioning myself so that whatever happens outside these walls affects me even less. And this is the foundation of what we call those prime people who start, the prime mover that moves within it, and they become legacy builders of their own. They start building for themselves. They've kind of created the bunker for their family instead of worrying about all these other things out here designed to distract you. Because once you're in a state of panic, you just kind of sit there. You kind of sit there and you don't go any further. If I'm making sense, put this in the comment. Let me know. Am I off base? How many of you agree with what I'm saying out there? How many of you really agree with it, disagree with what I'm saying? I'm open. I'm open. It's just a discussion because, I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just saying, hey, these are just the views that are out there. These are just the views that are out there. Right? I can't be all things to everybody. We can't be all things to everybody. But there's one thing that we want to do. We want to make sure that we're very clear. We want to make sure that we're very clear that when you're sitting across from your advisors and you're having these conversations, you need to understand what the trends are. You really do. You need to understand what these trends are because the opportunity is when you can show someone how AI becomes the wealth tool. That's not a distraction. While everything's going crazy out here, why don't we focus on the things that are not a distraction? Using artificial intelligence, AFI, and financial intelligence to automate and create systems that work. If you're a business owner, think about how we can scale your client acquisitions, how you can get more clients into your funnel, into your world, increasing your cash flow. And protect the time it takes to do it. If I can do it faster, that gives me more to work with and that gives me more to put away. The more I can put away faster means the less I have to work for someone else. If I employ the money, then becomes my second job. Every dollar becomes an employee of mine. It's earning money when you're sitting at home. When you know that it's consistent and the systems are consistent, and you have this opportunity to talk to many people and earn a dollar or two from all the people in the authority that you already carry. And you can do it quickly, and then you reposition it and earn interest off of the money that you've earned. Because here at Lifestyle Focused Wealth, we always talk about it. We talk about it. We don't want you to spend your money. While the world is panicking, most people don't even realize they're doing it right now. We're having these conversations daily. They're panicking. They're spending their money. They're panicking in their mindset, the way that they think about things. Their relationships are falling apart. People don't even want relationships anymore. And at the same time, it's driving people insanely sick. Health is a panic right now. We're looking from left to right for leadership. We can't find it. And everyone sees what's going on, but no one has an answer for it. And the reason why people are panicking is very simple. The world is shifting right in front of us. And most people don't have a structure. Oops, I dropped the ball. Flag on the play. Did you catch what I just said, folks? Come on, family. Put it in the comments if you just caught what I just said. If you caught it, they don't have a structure. Man, I'm loving what y'all saying out here. Keep the comments coming because we need to be really having these conversations because the wealthy starts pivoting. I love that because they are pivoting. They are pivoting. Thank you so much for that, Donna. Thank you so much. There is a level of craziness happening here that we have to pay attention to. Because again, when you're sitting across from your advisors and you're having these one-on-one conversations, right now, the number one issue globally is the economy. It's the economy. Across the world, people are saying something feels off. Something feels unstable. Something feels expensive. Something feels totally uncertain. And yet, in America, we're still distracted. We're still arguing about if you're blue, if you're red. We're still fighting over narratives. We're still letting politics become the headline while the economy becomes the silent killer. If the internet controls minds, who controls money? Who controls your money? I want to make sure you guys hear me very clearly today. Because if you don't have the system, when your advisor, once again, when your advisor is sitting across from you, if you can imagine what's on the screen right now, if your advisor is sitting across from you and you don't have a wealth system, if you don't have one, your emotions will run your life. And if your emotions run your life, you'll never build a legacy. That just won't happen. And that's why our lifestyle focused community is different, because you'll find in the one-on-one conversations that we have that we don't just talk about money. It's not about money. We talk about your identity, who you are, what do you want to be, where you're going. We talk about your structure. Do you have a trust? Do you have a corporation? We talk about control. Do you understand the tax code? Do you understand IRC section 1, section 2, Do you have your family banking system set up so you can take loans, borrow against it, control your interest? Is your financial system in place whether you live too long, die too early, or become disabled in between? Our people are talking about legacy. This needs to be where you start taking control. This needs to be, if it's not daily, a weekly conversation. Because right in front of your eyes, there's a lot of opportunity because people are not focusing on structuring. Am I making sense for everybody today? Am I? Please let me know if we are. Because I just want to make sure that I'm catching you at the right moment so that you can understand that we're not hustling. You shouldn't be hustling. This is the moment where you start thinking about talking to your advisors. Once again, put that back up on the screen. I'm going to put that back up on the screen again because I want the visual image to stay in your head. When you're talking to your advisor, whoever that may be, your legacy is not by mistake. Your legacy is built. It's built through structure. It's really built through planning. So now let's talk about this for a second. Check this out. We're family, right? The second thing I want to talk about right now is the internet and how viral the culture is. Because you can make one video, just one. You can have one comment, just one. That one moment in time, suddenly millions of people across the world are in an emotional war based off of what you said. So here's what that reveals to me. I'm going to tell you what that reveals to me. That means that people are letting the internet shape their identity. You know, some of the weirdest things happen once we start talking about control. Yes, it's Lifestyle Focus Friday. Sorry about that, you guys. We're still live. But I have to tell you, it is not common that when we have these conversations that things just start crashing. Things just start going crazy. Is it because we're touching on something sensitive? Maybe the internet knows that we're talking about you. Maybe it knows that we're talking about it. So I'm going to come to our final conclusion that, you know, can you make money? It just becomes a question. Can you make money? And if you can, the question is, are you ready to do it? When the lights go out, are you ready? Are you? My name is Rocco Johnson. In this community, we won't want to just build it. We want to build your legacy. We want to make sure you're doing it the right way. So with that in mind, you want to make sure that you stay tuned to our channel. We want to stay logged in. And I apologize for us having to go over just a little bit today. But we want to make sure that you're available. We want to make sure that you're in the room where you need to be so that you can affect change. So you can affect change. Because the way we're affecting change is just by not paying attention to all the mess that's out there. We're not doing that. We're not paying attention to all that mess. What I want you to do is start focusing on you. Start focusing on your family. Start focusing on your structure. And start worrying about all the chaos in the world. Because when we narrow it down, you got to protect you. You got to protect your family. And you need to be in control. That's what we really want. We want you to know that you have the ability to be in control. We know that you have the ability to be in control. And if you're in control, some of these things that are happening won't affect you. And really what we want to do is be able to let your life continue to go further and further, and you can live life a lot longer, healthier, mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, simply because you're not being affected by the things in the world that drive us crazy. Hey, that's my time this day. I'm Rocco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focus Wealth Coach. Thank you guys for joining us. We're here every Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Do me a favor, if you want to touch base with us, do me a favor, go online, send me an email at info@roccojohnson.com, or you can send me a DM. I'm at Rocco Johnson on all social media platforms. So we want to make sure that you're getting the answers that you deserve for when the lights go out. Hey, God bless you. Thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to seeing you at the top. Until next time, you be safe. You have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you soon. God bless.